Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're going to be unboxing this iDoing brand Android Auto Apple CarPlay head unit, specifically made for Toyotas and for the Toyota Avalon for this case. We'll go ahead and look at all the harnesses and everything that comes with this unit and try to figure out what you really need to install this on your car, because if you look on their website and you look in the box, there's really no real instructions, but it's a pretty simple plug and play install if you know exactly what you need. So stay tuned. So what I have in this box here is the radio for the Toyota Avalon, the 2014 up to 2019, I believe, Avalon. And it came in this box. It wasn't really well packaged. The bezel on this thing is huge, and the box they sent it in wasn't really that great as far as fitment. But what you get inside is you get all the different wire harnesses, and it comes with a lot of wire harnesses. So we'll go over each and every one of these and what you really need. And then inside here, this thing comes complete already with the bezel attached to it. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't fit too well in here, but it does come in this bag right here. And it comes with this new bezel right here that fits the Toyota Avalon, and then the screen and everything. So we'll go ahead and look through all this and get into details about what we have here. So looking at the unit right here, so they basically just copied the bezel on the Avalon right here. It's a gloss finish. I think the actual OEM one is more of a matte finish. So this thing might end up being a little bit too glary just because of all the reflections that you can see on it. Just looking at it, all they really did was attach a kind of universal Android Auto radio to it and made it fit in here. On the inside here, you can see it does kind of just square up or triangle up, but the screen itself is more like a weird kind of a triangle. You can see the buttons on the edge here kind of merge into the bezel. So the first thing I noticed that here, it has the airbag on-off indicator and the flashing light. But if you look on the back side here, it doesn't have any kind of plug or anything, so I'm wondering if I actually have to take apart the OEM one off the factory radio and then transplant it over here just to have that light shown. But right here you can see it has like the screws and everything to kind of take it apart, so we'll deal with that once we get inside the car and take it all apart and see how that connects. But as far as it being just a universal radio, you can see the back here, it just kind of clips onto here and it fits onto there. If you look at the back of the radio, it has a kind of a wiring diagram for all the different outputs and inputs and all the different plugs, so you know what you're plugging up and what everything does. As far as all the connections go, those diagram right here match up to these plugs right here. And then you have the two 4G antennas right here, and then just a regular GPS antenna. Right here is your regular FM radio plug antenna that most cars have that you plug right into. And then over here you can see this plug right here. This thing is pretty much the OEM Toyota plug right here. So most of these will plug directly into the Toyota harness, and then we'll show you the connector harnesses on a few of these that you're gonna need. So when you first get this unit, you're gonna unbox it. It's got a bunch of wiring harness and you wonder, do you really need all these? And the answer is no, you don't need most of these. Most of these are actually included because you have aftermarket options as far as amps and everything goes. But if you're just doing a straight plug and play, most of this crap you're not gonna need. So we'll go over these over here. So this thing right here is the 4G antenna. If you were to pay for 4G service and have a SIM card, you would plug this in for the antenna. You would plug this unit right here that actually has a little slot right here that you could add a 4G SIM card right there. You just slip that SIM card into there, close it up, and then plug it into the unit, and you'll have 4G connection for that unit. Most people won't use this, especially here in North America, so you could pretty much toss that. That's kind of useless. The next thing it comes with is a aftermarket microphone. So to use this microphone, I believe if your car doesn't have OEM mic and OEM Bluetooth, you'll need something like this over your headliner or close to where you're gonna speak if you wanna talk on Bluetooth. But I think since our car has a mic already, it's gonna end up using the factory mic, but this is the aftermarket mic that it comes with. It comes with a 3M tape, and it comes with a clip for you to clip it to your visor or to your headliner or where you want to mount it. It comes with these two pry tools for you to open stuff up. That's just tools that comes along with. Next, you'll see right here, it's a double port USB. So this thing, again, it's for kind of the aftermarket feature of loading videos through USB, just loading other stuff, charging your devices and connecting your devices to the Android Auto or the CarPlay screen, right? So you could plug this thing in, kind of route these into your glove box or your center console just to have some extra USB charging ports if you want those. Moving along, so you'll get this harness right here, and then this box. The particular box I have says RP5TY101. I'm assuming TY means Toyota. I'm assuming this is also the interface to connect to all the different menus and everything on the Toyotas. So you actually plug this thing into here, and then there's a slot on the back of the radio that you plug the other into. That way you have that connectivity and that functionality. I'm assuming this also gets your steering wheel working, your backup camera, and all that stuff integrated into the radio. So that box is actually labeled on the J plug right here, the J2 plug, as the CAN box. So I'm assuming that's the CANBUS. Like I said earlier, it's for the connectivity to the car and all the different menus. So moving along down here, so the next thing we have is a GPS antenna. So this thing, you're gonna have to mount either to your windshield or just on your dash. That way it picks up the GPS signal for the actual unit itself. I'm assuming this is for any kind of navigation app or the onboard maps. If you're using CarPlay or AndroidAuto, I'm assuming that GPS on that is from your phone, but if you're just running the offline maps, you'll need this GPS antenna. Next thing we have here is this plug right here that has all these different RCAs. You won't need this for most of the installs. This is for if you have an aftermarket amplifier and other outputs. So it's all the outputs to those amplifiers that you want to use. So this thing plugs into those banks right there, which again, you won't need these. The next plug, this blue plug right here, this is the microphone plug I showed you earlier with the actual microphone over here. So if you're using this microphone and you don't have a factory one on yours, you plug this into there and you plug that into here. This thing also has looks like a plug that says Wi-Fi and another one that says brake. I'm assuming these two things are to either enable Wi-Fi or some kind of Wi-Fi antenna. So I'm not sure if you actually have to plug this up. I may just leave it hanging off the back of it just in case we need that for some reason. So the next plug I got here is this yellow one right here, and this one actually has a camera input. It's got a reverse. It's got battery, ACC, amp. So these are, looks like outputs for your amplifier and your aftermarket stuff. It has another one called key. I don't know what this is for. It has a plug to it, but it doesn't have another end that you plug into it. So this one, if you were to run an aftermarket backup camera, you would need this plug plugged in so you could get your camera in right here. If you have a factory backup camera on your car already, the unit will integrate with that and you don't have to worry about this plug. So this is another one of these plugs along with this one that you probably won't use and you can kind of just set to the side or put away. Moving on down the line, so here's a few items that you're actually gonna need. So this one right here is the CarLink USB. It's a purple plug. So this one actually has the plug, the USB, so you can do your actual wired CarPlay or your wired Android audio. This unit comes with wireless already for both of those, so you really don't need this unless you really want to plug it up to wired versions of it. And to do that, you could plug it straight into here and kind of leave this hanging out. Or if your vehicle has a factory USB plug already, this green plug right here plugs onto the radio side of it where it connects to the USB, and then this side of it just plugs straight to here so you can make that link. So this basically turns your factory USB port into a CarPlay USB port. And rumor is that this thing is actually a higher amperage than the factory one, so this thing will actually put out like 1 or 2 amps versus the half amp or whatever comes out of the factory one. Moving along the line, so this plug right here plugs into the radio and it integrates for the factory plugs right here. So these two ends are actually factory style plugs that plug into this side. The last plug that we have here is the one for the antenna. So this radio uses your traditional old school antenna plug, but most of the Toyota vehicles use this special plug right here. So this will actually plug into the car side and then this plugs into the radio. So to plug these things in, they only go one way in, right? So this one goes right there. So that's gonna interface with your factory radio. The next one we wanna do is this one, which is for your antenna. So you plug that into there. The second one, antenna C, I think this is some kind of signal for like a power antenna. The rest of these plugs on the back of here are just gonna plug straight into the car's harness. That's what they're designed to do. So there's 2 plugs here, 1 plug here, and 1 plug there. So those go straight into the actual car. Next thing we wanna plug in is that CANBUS plug right here. So this goes right into there. And pretty much you could just kind of leave it on top of the unit, kind of tape it here. if you have room, or just let it dangle in the back. Once I get in there, if there's room, I'll just go ahead and double-side tape right to the top of the unit just to keep it tight and away from everything else in the back of the radio. Next thing you want to do is plug the purple plug right here. So the purple plug goes right here in this slot, which is slot B on the diagram. This here is for the CarPlay or Android Auto, right? For the wired version. So we'll go ahead and plug this into the USB of the car to make it integrate straight into the factory. For my setup, I'm just gonna go ahead and leave these two USBs as extra ports for charging. So this plugs into the last port right here, which is D. I'm gonna go ahead and route one of these under the cubby hole under the radio, and the other one maybe in the console. And the last thing I'm gonna go ahead and connect right now is the GPS antenna. So the GPS fits in this last coax slot right here. So you just go ahead and just screw it straight into the coax. Once we install it, I'll go ahead and just kind of tape this under the dash on a spot that's open and just have it basically above the ductwork but behind the dash, so I could pick up some GPS in case I need that. So pretty much this is all set up and ready to go inside the car now. So I went ahead and put away the extra plugs and everything I'm not going to need for this project. The mic one, I'm still not 100% sure, but I think from all the videos and everything I read, you only need this if you don't have a factory mic in your car already. If you have one of the early versions without Bluetooth, which is kind of odd because most Toyotas that can be compatible with this will already have all that. So I'll go ahead and just test it out to make sure I don't need that, but hopefully I don't, because I really don't want to put an aftermarket mic. I like the factory mic, it's probably much better. Other than that, I got everything else ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and do that install on a separate video. I just wanted to go over unboxing this unit and figuring out all the wiring, since most of you guys online searching for this unit are trying to figure out what all these wires mean. Hey guys, thanks for joining me on this quick video on unboxing and going through all the wire harnesses and plugging everything up and kind of just figuring everything out for the wiring for this iDoing radio. Go ahead and join me on the next video where we actually put this into the Avalon. But for today's video, I just wanted to go over this, show you guys everything that comes in the box. So if you guys have one or you're planning on buying one of these, you know exactly what to do with all the different wires and everything on the back of this unit. If you found this video useful, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel to stay on top of all my different videos. Remember, for all these different projects, if I can do it, you guys can do it. I want to thank you for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.